welcome back to another official video on the MotorMike YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to be going over why a Ford Mustang may or may not be the best car ever made, but you have to watch to find out. I'm going to be going over the pros of owning a Mustang, the cons of owning a Mustang, and everything in between. Now, I have owned this car for roughly 6 months, I would like to say. So I have a little bit of time with the Ford Mustang. Honestly, it's probably one of my favorite cars I've owned, because the other two cars were a Civic and a Toyota. So this is pretty good. This is a nice step up for me. But anyway, pro number one. Well, with this particular car, it is bright blue. Look at that. Grabber blue never fails on anything, bro. Look at the paint. It's blue. Looks like the ocean. Also, represent proudly on the side. But for pro number one on this exact car, it is grabber blue. And that's probably one of the best colors ever made. Pro number two. It's a two-door. Now, why would that be a pro? Well, because four-doors are absolutely disgusting looking at times. And, you know, coupe. It's a coupe. It's got that nice silhouette from the front to the back. So, yeah, two-door car. That could be a con later, but, you know, pro for a young guy. Reason number three. The V6, which this is a V6. I know it's shocking. I know it's really shocking. You know, you would expect this to be like a Shelby or something, but it's only a humble V6. But it runs on regular gas. Should you put regular gas in it all the time? No. Do I? Yes. But it runs on regular gas just fine. Cheap at the pump. 35 bucks to fill it up, and you get some range. You know, we'll get into that later. Number four, reliability. With the V6 GT, well, V6 and the GT models, you do have a good amount of reliability. These cars have been made for numerous amount of decades, so Ford pretty much mastered how to build a reliable sporty car. And if you need a part, relatively cheap, it's not going to break the bank at all. And honestly, it's reliable. It holds up to the hoonigan stuff you might do. You know, it can tolerate a little abuse, a little bit of flooring it every now and again. And yeah, she holds up. She's still in one piece. But granted, I only owned it 6 months, so who knows how long this is gonna last in the hands of MotorMike. Reason number 7, the prestige of the Ford Mustang. This is iconic and synonymous with anybody who knows anything about cars. You ask a non-American, what's an American car? Probably the first thing that comes up, Ford Mustang. This thing is red, white, and blue. It's got the, you know, the prestige of the Americana. And honestly, it's iconic. I might have said it already, but it's just an iconic vehicle all around. It's hard to find somebody who doesn't know what a Mustang is. Very hard to find somebody. You have to be living underneath a rock to not know what this car is. So, it's not bad. It's nice. You get more compliments than you expect. Not to be braggy, but when I bought this, I'm like, oh, nobody likes cars. Nobody cares about cars. But no, people generally gravitate towards it. It's a nice sporty car. So on that bombshell, that's pretty much the general gist of all the pros I can think of offhand. Let's start moving into the cons. First, the automatic. It's all right. You know, I'm not like the street racing type of guy, and it does shift, but there's a little hesitation in between the shifts. When we drive it later, I'll show you, but a little hesitation with the automatic. The probably newer ones from 2011 and up are better, but like if you get an older one from 2010 and back, which this is a 2010, then it's a little sluggy, but it could be worse. The steering wheel as well. The steering wheel on this car, mine's trued up. It's a used car. That's not the problem. But it's just the material. It feels like a dog toy they wrap the wheel in. It feels like the squishy, plasticky rubber that they use on the dog toy. So, I mean, it feels good. It's a good size wheel. It fits in your hand nicely. You know, you got the little Mustang right there. So yeah, that's relatively nice. Like obviously some of the higher trims, they have like the chrome on that part, but the actual wheel, it's a little dog toy like. I'm not gonna lie. Quick little side note, mirrors don't fold in. That's not too much of a problem. I don't park on the street too often. but you know, just a little inconvenience at times if you're parking in the city or anything like that. And my final real con with this car. My final con with this car. So I just have one more gripe with this car. If you do get the V6, don't expect to be breaking any speed records. Yes, it's quick, you know, it gets up to speeds I won't mention on camera for legal reasons, but you know, it gets up to speed and it's able to hold it, and it's, you know, good acceleration. But don't expect to be, you know, going 150 plus, you know, smoking Camaro SS's and Hellcats in the V6 at least, because it's not. Honestly, I bought this car more for looks than speed per se. I bought more for the reliability aspect, because why am I going to pay all that money for a GT and then, you know, barely be able to, like, this is usable power. This right here is usable power, and the older GTs also usable power. So it's not too crazy. It's a good stepping stone to a future more powerful car. Like, if you want to get a first sporty car, I would recommend V6 Mustang, but don't expect to be like walking, you know, other GTs and Hellcats and stuff. It does hold its own on the street, I'm not gonna lie. Like, you're able to give a good, you know, you're able to keep up, but don't expect to be like walking them. So yeah, besides that, that's pretty much it for the exterior on the outside. Now let's hop into the car, let's drive it, and let me tell you more about some of the things inside the Ford Mustang. Inside the Ford Mustang, the seats are very comfortable, at least in the base model. The cloth seats, very comfortable, don't stain. I know cloth isn't like the most prestigious material. Obviously, you have leather seats and this and that and X, Y, and Z, but for a base, it's not bad. Now, before I begin starting it up and driving and all that, the interior, like on the dash and just like the center console, it's very plasticky. Very, very plasticky. I don't mind personally, because how many times are you going to be like touching your, you know, dashboard? But it's a little bit on the plasticky side. So if you care about your interiors that much, you know, the only thing that should matter is the wheel and that. But if you care about the interior, you might not be so impressed with at least some of the older Mustangs. So keep that in mind. But yeah, let's buckle this up and go on the little drive. So my Mustang has the aftermarket screens and all that, like the CarPlay. So we can't really take into account the infotainment on some of, you know, like a Mustang equivalent to this. So that's, my point's void. Because any issues I would have had, you know, are resolved with the CarPlay. Ladies and gentlemen, now we are out on the boulevard in the Ford Mustang. And let's go over some of the driving dynamics. Like I said, as we were leaving the parking lot, the suspension handles bumps and everything pretty well. Around cornering, for how soft the damping is, it's a very nice cornering car. It's a modern car, so it's going to turn nice to it, like nicely. So that's not too much of the issue. I expected it to be a lot more floaty than it was, even though this is a sportier car. So it's a good daily driving slash let's have a little fun around corner kind of suspension setup. So that's nice to have. Now, I was talking about the transmission and the motor before. The motor is great, low down torque, and you just, you know, for the amount of power it has, it's not bad. It's, you know, it's only 210. It's a little low for a, you know, car that looks like this, in my opinion. But for me personally, for it being my first sporty car, it does the job. It's like the reliability, the performance is, it's even. You know, I know I won't really have too many issues with this car, so that's nice. You know, it's comforting to know that I can have a little fun and go quickly too at times. So the feel of the steering wheel, like I said, it's a little rubbery, but holding it and like turning it, it's not too bad. It's kind of comfortable, I'm not gonna lie. But if you're like prestigious about your materials and stuff, you know, it might bug you. Personally, you buy a Mustang for the motor and to go fast. You don't really buy it to be, you know, the most luxurious. It's not a Benz on the inside, I'll put it to you like that. Definitely not a Benz on the inside, but for the amount of performance for the dollar you get, you can't really go wrong. that's just something I want to put out there. Now for the transmission. The transmission is relatively responsive for an older car, but it could be better. So, for example, I have a little button on my steering wheel, not my steering wheel, my shifter. You know, the overdrive off, and it does help quicken up the shifts, as you will see. I'm gonna hop on this old road here, give it a little gas. So. I mean, it does go relatively good, but that's me all the way forward. If you kind of press the gas halfway down, it's not gonna really shift the quickest per se. Well, you have to, like, if you really want everything to work perfectly, you have to floor it. If you give it like half gas, like give it a little pull, like the merge or something, it stumbles a little bit. Like what I'm doing with my words in this video, it stumbles. So if you want to go fast, you have to go fast. Like you have to press this all the way down, and you just gotta go, because the car automatically will. Did I just ran a red light? No, it's over there, I'm sorry. My ADD kicked in. But kind of halfway on the gas, the car doesn't like to respond well to that. So if you want to go quick, you gotta floor it. And you know, it's peppy, plenty fast for me. I don't need to go any faster than this. And realistically, you don't have to go any faster than this driving on the street. But that's just an excuse for having a slower car. But it's not entirely too slow. It's quick, it's peppy. We'll put it to you like that. I want to stop defending it so much. I'm like really trying hard to defend it. It's fine. It's fine. If I had to describe the Mustang in one word, it's fine. It's a great car, well built for years, reliable enough to not worry about, quick enough to not really, you know, want too much more. With the, you know, like, with the performance and everything you get for the dollar, it's overall a great car, and I do highly recommend it, especially in Grabber Blue. Especially in Grabber Blue. If it's not Grabber Blue, that's like half the fun, you know. But if you guys did enjoy another classic MotorMike YouTube video, definitely consider subscribing and watching this channel grow throughout 2023. 2023, I'm telling you, the year of the MotorMike, man. We're gonna get our goals done, accomplish our dreams, and make this into a reality. Ooh, that rhyme. Rhyming is cool. But if you guys want to see me grow and enhance, subscribe, follow the Instagram too, MotorMike, a couple underscores after that. And I shall definitely see you guys in my next upload. Have a fantastic day, get your gains, 2023, and enjoy.